Hi, welcome to ACS Composite. My name is Joseph, and today we're looking at license plate treatments on a C8 Corvette. What we have are different accessories available for that area of the car. Historically, we have always offered a license plate frame, a really sleek, clean, carbon flash painted accessory that basically creates the perimeter of a license plate frame. And this really gave it a nice finished look. Painted in carbon flash was really an obvious choice because it matches all the pieces on the car. So when we look at a C8 Corvette, the rear diffuser, the trim bezels up here, the side, the front, everything that comes from the factory that appears to be black is actually carbon flash black, which is in principle black with a silver metallic finish. So that was really a natural choice. The eyesore, or the thing that always bothered us, was the flatness in this area here. So the reason GM designed it this way was to accommodate all the international license plate frames. For us in America, we're now stuck with two flat areas which just needed some dressing up. We wanted something that looked like it was built with the car and intended to be there. Our inspiration became our taillights. When we looked at rear end, we really thought that was a dominant design feature and wanted to highlight it in this area without overdoing it. And this is where the side Cs came about. And because on this car, we also went with the Sebring orange diffuser, we thought it'd be cool to also bring that over. So we went with a carbon flash filler panel and a Sebring orange license plate filler. And basically we'll walk through all the steps on how to install this and make sure it fits right. I'm ready to begin the installation of my license plate accessories. What I've done is unpackage everything for the conversion. And what I have is my main filler panel. This is the main body that goes as a first item on the license plate area, along with the mounting bolts, which are carbon flash bolts, a license plate frame. This one's a color match Sebring orange, extremely popular also in carbon flash, so that's a selection to do when you order. Some double-sided tape, adhesion promoter, and a mounting foam. And the reason a mounting foam is there is basically to accommodate all the different license plates that are available. What we've noticed in certain US states, certain plates have bezels or a little bevel on the perimeter, which causes the plate to be a lot thicker and different per state. And the first step is really to trial fit it. So when we look at our license plate frame, which you could recycle if you've previously bought it, it's the same part. We've just color matched it here today. You take the license plate frame, slide it into the tabs. You'll notice there's two mounting tabs in the back and two holes for the bolts. And once you do this already, you'll know if you need to make adjustments or not. This one's a flat plate, so very simple. Like I said, some of them will have a return flange. And you basically have two choices. You can either take pliers and in this area, make two markings and unbend it. If you don't want to unbend it, you'll notice that you'll have a resistance to it. And that's where the tape comes in. So you could basically pre-install the tape either at the bottom or all the way at the top. Most of the time, the top is the right answer. And what it does, it lets you pivot the license plate, frame, and plate so that you don't get a vibration on the car. And what you want to try to do is make sure that the bottom is touching. And that's why the foam tape is there. So now we'll go back and continue with the prep involved. So very simple, double-sided tape. Clean the surface, make sure there's no dust. And we have two provisions. We've gone with a larger tape than the provision itself, and I basically want to put it on either side of the little rectangle. So that gives me an external rectangular pressure point. So I've cut larger than what the provision is because basically it's a centering rectangle. I want to make sure that my tape is an offset of the small rectangle, giving me the pressure point to touch the car in this area. Well, notice at the bottom of the license plate filler panel, there's two little notches. These are actually drain holes so that when you wash your car, if any water goes through, it will drain from there. So now I'll be working between these two tabs. setting 2 rows of tape for the bottom portion. So I start tangent with that little rectangle. Apply pressure. And a second strip of tape right over it. I have my 2 rectangles on either side, my main strip at the bottom, and the top will be held with my 2 bolts. Next is my license plate frame with the license plate itself. I'm centering it using the holes, and I want to lock it in there. The last thing I want is an asymmetric centered plate. And to do this, I'm using my tape on either side. So there's a little bevel on the inside edge of my license plate frame. I'm using that for the outer edge of my tape. To lock it in so I don't get caught once I go into the assembly mode. I'm going to set the foam tape just to show where I would be putting it on, I'd say probably half of the plates I've seen. And this one's a little long. Just want to make sure it goes inside. Peel it. I've seen some dealers pre-install this on the car when they install them during their PDI session. So a lot of the times you'll find it at the bottom. And again, it depends on the shape and how it fits onto the car. So that explains that whole theory. Got it all centered. Setting my bolts. And I got my sub-assembly ready now. And I'll move on to the car to dismantle and install this one. My first step, obviously, is to dismantle what is there. If you have a factory plate, you probably have a Phillip. Dealers tend to use very large Phillip or star-shaped screws. I have an old ACS license plate frame I'm removing, so it does have a T30 bolt. I'm holding it all in place because you don't want to drop it. Dropping can lead to scratches. So if you're shaky, you put masking tape, otherwise just hold it. Clean the area. It's an alcohol solution, trying to remove any wax here, here, and here. So now looking at my prepped filler panel, I notice in the back I have a square. This square actually matches this feature on the rear bumper. And this is only true for 2020 cars. In 2020, GM installed a keyhole. And basically this is part of your key fob emergency care. And there's a removable key which you could open your trunk. 2021, they deleted this. And this is done in case your battery dies. So if your battery dies, you need access to the trunk or the engine, you would access it through here. Personally, I think they were smart to remove it since the battery is located in the front of the car. So basically you get in through another similar keyhole in the door to get access to the front and finally the battery so you could power it up and also open the trunk. So if you do want to retain this feature on a 2020, you would have to trim out this area here using a router or some sort of Dremel tool. Personally, I don't feel I need to do that or want to. I like my embossed ACS logo. Plus, if I did need to get access to that, either way, the license plate frame would have to come off. This means I could remove the 2 screws, remove this, it's just tape, and still get access to this hole. So we just did it to make life easier for people that want to keep it as stock or original as possible, but I won't be doing it today. I'm doing a trial fit, so my surface has been cleaned. I've made sure I have no wax on the bottom perimeter portion where the tape will contact. And in a dry fit, I get to see if everything is fine. So what I'm looking for is making sure my holes match in these 2 areas. The surface or the edge available on either side is symmetric and centered. For the top portion, I'm really pushing to the top. And when we designed it, we actually molded the shape, you see all the details on it, to match the trim bezel that's here. And this trim bezel holds the 2 license plate lights, the rear camera, and the trigger button to open the trunk. So all this has been thought out, and I know this is your best bet into centering it, since it was all digitally designed to match the car. So that's a hard spot, it's your best reference. You still go with the visual on the 2 sides, and you'll get something that's really proper and correct. And that is where it will go. Now that I'm comfortable positioning the license plate filler panel, I'm ready to do the surface prep. This is an adhesion promoter, and what it does, it activates the double-sided tape. So the double-sided tape is activated chemically and by pressure. So that's why it's always important to get a contaminant-free area. PPF is usually a bit of an issue because a lot of people will also put ceramic coatings on it. So you want to make sure all that is stripped. It's not necessary to peel your PPF in this area since we have hard fasteners doing the same job, but you want to make sure you don't have waxes or ceramic coatings. And the way you do that, you use an alcohol solution to basically clean the surface the best you can. And this is our insurance, it's adhesion promoter. And this chemically activates the tape so that we really get a stick on. Very smelly, and it is a chemical, so you do want to use it in a ventilated garage, wearing gloves. I'm gonna apply it. I always keep a rag handy, just in case it drips. There is a lot in that little pouch, so if it does, I wanna catch it. Bottom edge, and this area here. I'm saving it since I'll be using it also for the license plate frame in a second. And this works when it evaporates in about 30-40 seconds, depending on the temp. The solution's gone, and that's when it's ready to be stuck on. As the promoter evaporates, I'll prep my filler panel, and all I'm doing is really removing all the double-sided tape. So I removed the 5 pieces of 3M backing tape, and I'm ready to position it. Obviously now with the activator and the double-sided tape exposed, I basically have one chance at doing it. I was referencing these 2 features here. I'm still using that. I'm keeping the bolts handy, just in case I need to lock it into position. So as I go in, I look around my trim bezel, and I see my holes, my 2 sides are good, and I'm going for it. I'm only putting these as a temporary hold. So if you've used double-sided tape, it loves heat and it loves pressure. Generally, I'm going to try to get a 30-second push on it. And this is set. Next will be my license plate frame. So I have my license plate frame sub-assembly. I have the foam tape at the top, just to show where I would position it if I had a bezel. There's no harm in this setup too. You can also split it in 2 depending on the shape and the state you're in. The double-sided tape we had set on the edges. That's really important. And this will avoid any potential rattles. I'm gonna pre-install it using the temporary bolts. And reason being is I'd like to get some adhesion promoter on this surface too. One last check to make sure it's symmetric left to right. There's a body line here, body line here. And what I'm doing is just setting a bit of a guide for the adhesion promoter application. I still have my adhesion promoter. I'm about half an inch inbound. Once it evaporates, we're ready to do the final install. I have my bolt ready, and I could peel my tape for the final setting. Try to keep it away from the car, or the tape away from the car, just so I could get my last check to make sure it's centered. Last thing I want is a crooked plate that will be on the car for the life of it, and that would just drive me nuts. Again, you want 30 seconds of pressure, roughly, for that tape to get activated with that promoter. T30 screwdriver. All tightened up. And we are done. Simple as that, and as great as that. And there we have it. This completes the installation of my license plate filler along with a license plate frame. A really easy install. I think anybody that owns a Corvette could install this. I wouldn't pay a tech to do this for you. They're very easy, simple steps, and there's a lot of fun in doing it. And I really think it brings the rear end to a whole new level. So I'm gonna step aside just so that we take a better look at it and appreciate all the design elements, the color schemes, and really how it pops and makes the rear end look a lot more aggressive. As always, we'd like to hear from you guys, so be sure to comment. Let us know what you think of the mod, and most importantly, subscribe. There's definitely a lot more parts coming for this car.